Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome. Thanks for stopping by. I'm Imperial Jedi. Here we are playing Cities Skylines Snowfall, the brand new DLC that comes out February 18th. And just to kind of start us off, I've got a brand new map going, and I've named it after the map that it is. You get 3 new maps with the update, and so this one is the Frosty Rivers. So I just kind of named it that, so you guys can follow along. Pretty easy to find which one we're playing along to. And I figured we'd just jump right in, see what's new, have some fun, maybe play for maybe an hour and a half or so. So I'll kind of break this up into 3 little parts. You know, feel free to check out as much as you want type thing. I won't be doing a full overview of the game. Obviously, I want you guys to have some fun with it yourselves. I won't show you everything, but we'll just tinker around, see what's new, and kind of see how it goes from there. So let's just go ahead and get started. And in order to kind of keep the game just kind of focused on what's new with the DLC update, I've gone ahead and removed all of the assets that I've been downloading as time goes on. So we're going a pure vanilla experience right now. So it's all the content you would get from the base game with the After Dark expansion, as well as obviously the Snowfall. And I did a pre-order, so I got a few extra parks and all this stuff too. And I did the digital deluxe version, so I may have some more stuff than you guys might have if you had bought the game late or didn't buy the digital deluxe. But totally no problem. We will still be focusing on what's new with the Snowfall DLC. And so what I'm going to do is just kind of get ourselves a little starting city going right here. Get some money coming in, get some people living here, and then we can start focusing on what's new. And I'm going to go, I guess, for a little bit of symmetry, but not a whole heck of a lot here. Actually, I think I made that already off symmetrical, but I like the look of that one a bit more, though, so let's maybe we can change that. Yeah, that's nicer, I like that. I think that one maybe 1 unit still longer, but not the end of the world. And then so what I'm doing right now is just making a little bit of a division here. So industry over on this side, and then I'm going to have our residential just kind of on the opposite side, and maybe some commercial just smack dab in the middle right there. Again, just enough to kind of get us going, get us started, get some money coming in. Alright, so let's make a little roundabout down here. And what I'm going for, just for symmetry, see how when I move the mouse back here, those blue lines disappear? I'm going to use those for my point of reference. That way I know I'm making my roundabout nice and even, Steven. Switch over to a straight road. Perfect. And if you guys do want a little bit more of an in-depth look of the game, when it does come out, I'll be doing my 2nd season of the Let's Play. So we'll be focusing on a snowy map. We'll be seeing what's new. We'll be going like as far as we can type thing in terms of the city buildings. We'll make a giant metropolis eventually, spanning many episodes. So feel free to subscribe and check out that later on when it comes out. Definitely looking forward to that. Okay, now just in order for us to be able to zone over here, good, that one's already, because like these parts here, you can't really zone back here unless you do a little connection like that. Otherwise, I call this the point of no return, because there's no way in except for the region. So as a little temporary fix to that, I'm going to put this little bridging connection. I don't normally do one of these for the sake of traffic, but we're going to need snow plows to kind of, you know, tackle these roads here. And unfortunately, there's no other way in except for the region, so that's our little hotfix. And then I do realize these are all the wrong directions, so like I was going to change it when we did our little interchange here, but we'll worry about that in a second. Okay, so let's just kind of finish off our little starter neighborhoods right here. And things are going to be a little bit boxy just to start, but overall, I try to steer away from doing perfect grids. I don't mind a little bit of symmetry, because I think it's pretty easy on the eyes, but in general, I think the game looks a little bit nicer when you add some curves and, you know, get some bridges, get some hills, use the topography, just kind of, you know. So I'm kind of envisioning already maybe like a curved avenue that kind of follows the river. See how that looks. But so far, I like what we got. Okay, so let's just go like that. This is basically like, you know, the starting shape. This is kind of what I'm aiming for here. So let's just put in our little on and off ramps. Perfect. Looking good. Okay, power. Now, I'm tempted... Actually, you know what? Just in terms of money here. How much does this guy cost? 19, eh? Because we go through power rather quickly now. Now that we're using... so you can kind of see there's like a thermometer. So the colder it gets, the more people use electricity in terms of, like, you know, heating their house and that kind of stuff. So the demand for power, it's relatively high. So I think we're okay to start with a wind turbine or two. I'm going to put one down here, one up here, but I think we're going to quickly move over to a coal and then eventually kind of keep upgrading that. Because, yeah, power demands, they rise rather quickly. Okay, so I'm going to build these things relatively close just to our little power plant right here. So that way I don't have to make any power lines. Saving some money. And you'll notice there's a new pipe tab. You can actually bring heated pipes, or heated water, directly into people's homes. And that helps combat the cold weather. So I think it's part of the new challenges and the new mechanics right there. And then we'll obviously deal with that when we unlock it. There it is, basic piping. Make this side a little bit more efficient. There we go, perfect. Kind of covers who we need. Okay. Now I just need some power lines. So we will have to wire these two up because they're gonna have to, like I said, we go through power rather quickly. Okay, so let's just bring this up and over our highway. Make that come all the way down to there. And then from here to here. And then let's just go over. And we'll eventually remove the power lines. It's just to make sure that, you know, everyone kind of has power when the game starts and we don't have to worry about people moving out. Might as well get that started now. Okay, so that should be enough right there. Maybe even a little bit overboard, but we're down right to the last penny. Okay. So, whew, that was close. Okay, so let's do our zoning. Like I said, pretty much residential over here. Commercial in the building. Commercial buildings in the middle. Oh my goodness, what was I even trying to say there? And then industrial over on the other side of the highway. And that should be a good kind of starting point, I think. We should be quickly making money, just as long as we can keep up with our electrical demands. Okay. And so kind of going back to what I was saying before about, you know, point and no return type thing. Interesting, I can't zone right there. I wonder what that's all about. I'm just not going to do any zoning over here. Even though I've got that little temporary road, that's just more so for service vehicles. So zoning only on the insides of roads that we can drive on. So just like that type thing. There we go. That works for me. Okay. Let's take a nice little scenic view. And let's hit the old play button. And let's double check piping is good since we still have a little bit of money. Yeah, all looks good. And I'm going to put it to 3-speed just to kind of motor on through this. Get our citizens moving in, get some taxpayers in their homes. Then we can start moving on to services and, you know, beefing up our city. So far, so good. And I like the layout. Kind of cute looking. And I'm already kind of figuring we could do like a park or something in the middle of this little roundabout. And then we can actually continue our little, it's almost like a little in-town expressway. Kind of keep that going down a little bit closer to the coast. Make another little roundabout down there type thing. Maybe we can upgrade it to highway as time goes on, or we might just keep it as a little, like, lower speed expressway. Like, we won't zone on it or anything like that. And if we keep the interchanges to a minimum, we can kind of have, you know, pretty fast moving traffic on it. Okay, so power. Is everyone sharing? Looks like it. That's great. I always hate it when, you know, the buildings will build outside of my little connection zones. And I'm sitting here with no money going like, gosh darn it. But no, so far so good. I think we're okay. So people are moving in. Our budget is slowly making its way into the positives. Slowly is the key operative word here. But it's still steps in the right direction. And we've given ourselves a good base here, so we should have enough power to kind of sustain the city. Yeah, we're okay for the moment. And if we want to, in terms of money, we can always turn down our slider bars, but, I mean, like, you can kind of see we're well on our way, so I'm not going to bother. Simply because we'll end up using it anyhow, and so I'll just have to change them, you know. Perfect. This will actually give us more money anyhow. And we can take out loans now, so that's great. So our first services, we got our snow dump too, as well as our landfill. So let's go ahead and get those placed. Because once it starts to snow, the snow actually accumulates on the roads, which is pretty cool, so I have to deal with that. Okay, so first things first. Let's put in a landfill. And I'm trying to think we should get another power plant too. I'm tempted to save up for one of these, but our money coming in is not really high. So let's put down another wind turbine. And then we'll save up and put down a clinic as our next little purchase. Keep our citizens nice and healthy. And since it's not snowing, I'm not going to bother with the snow dump just yet, but that'll be next on the docket. And that's just over right here, and I think that's 5,000 maybe? Yeah, 5,000. And I'm probably going to put that right here. And when you put down these buildings, you know, they're kind of stuck until you empty them type thing. So they will be a little bit non-symmetrical, because I know that one's going to be one square over, so hopefully that doesn't bug you guys too much. Okay. So you know what we could do just to kind of move things along? We can take out the first of our loans. And I'm just going to pause. And with that, we should just buy ourselves a power plant. And let's put that over here. And we'll use the little bits of money that we have left to put one more neighborhood on over here. And I think kind of after this, we'll start steering away from the grids. I might do like a little avenue that kind of hugs the coastline, and then kind of work that into the city. Just for the moment, just to be like, you know, cost effective, get the most amount of people in per like, you know, square block type thing. Might as well make a little bit of a grid network. Okay, might have to extend the pipes. We do indeed. Luckily, that's very easy to do. Okay, so let's press play, see where we're at. And I do imagine it'll snow, you know, at some point, so we probably should save up for a snow dump. So when the snow gets a little bit too heavy on the roads, the vehicles, they really slow down, so definitely got to keep an eye on that. Okay, so hopefully the new people moving in will be enough to offset our loans and the cost of our power plants. But you can see we've got ample power, lots of room to grow. And it's tempting to get rid of one of these wind turbines, but I think we'll need them rather quickly, so I think we'll just kind of keep them as part of our little network right now. Okay, since the demand is still pretty high, let's just go ahead and zone on the inside like this. Get ourselves some new residents, and I'm going to keep that spot open. Or actually, you know what, why not? Maybe I was worried about the noise, but you know, we deal with that a little bit later. And again, if we weren't hitting the positive budget, which I know we will, which is why I didn't do it, we could always turn the sliders down for our electricity production. Because you can see we're making way more than we need, but you can see we're only making 60 and we're using 30. So the second the city just doubles in size, we'll need more power anyhow. So might as well keep us like this. Okay, so new policies, new services. We can do some more loans and some districts. I think the first thing we'll definitely do is drop down our services, though. I think we'll save the other loan for a rainy day type thing. Okay, so clinic. Let's do that relatively central. We'll definitely need a fire station before the police station, just because, if all the buildings burn down, there's no one to police, So, one thing at a time here. And it's just this juggling kind of balance, between adding more services, getting more people in, getting the taxes high. So let's get a little bit more money coming out of our people. 12% should be an okay number to go to. Kind of monitor our citizen happiness, make sure people aren't getting too angry with us. So, not the worst. Definitely have to bump up the residential happiness, though. And obviously, if you make the taxes too high, people get really angry with you. Okay, so snow dump or fire departments? I think fire departments. I would like to make 2 fire stations. So we'll put the first one in over there, and we'll put the second one in over here. And I'm putting it over at the industrial area first because they're a little bit more dangerous with fires, even though our first fire in the city is over here. How ironic. But that's pretty fast coverage, these guys. Or fast response time, They made it. Okay, so we have a growing demand for some more commercials. Why don't we just bump our little neighborhood here ever so slightly. And just go like that. Okay, just because I'm probably going to do some damage here to our power grid. Let's just move this while we're on pause, just in case. So far, so good, though. And I wonder... I don't have the world's worth, or the world of money for this. We can keep our little expressway going, and we can maybe make a bridge or something over top. Let's see, why not? Alright, so again, just get rid of this. Okay, perfect. Where should we reconnect this, I wonder? Okay, that's just a little temporary fix right there. Okay, bring that down, connect that. Of course, we don't have enough money, so let's put the speed back up. Our budget's fairly healthy, though, so that's great news. Actually, we'll just leave it on 3 speed, let that money start rolling in. Okay, there we go. Bring that down. I wish that lined up, unfortunately it doesn't. Maybe we'll make a little mental note of that. Alright, tiny town, perfect. Some more services, some more money. Definitely motoring right along. So I wish that connected. Oh well. So what we'll do is we'll just connect this one. And maybe we can just make like a little gap. That way we don't have to have too many traffic lights, you know? Too many intersections. Whenever possible, I like doing the triangle intersection, that's the word I'm looking for. Okay, now I'd like to build another roundabout over here. Or, you know what we could do is maybe skip. Yeah, you know what, let's do that. So let's just kind of planning for the future. Perfect. And so our next roundabout can be a little bit further spaced, and then this will just kind of end, you know, end on its own like that. Okay, so we'll expand a little bit down here, just while we're on a roll. And you know what we'll do? Actually, I want to take a nice view of our first sunset. Oh yeah. Look at that. Nice little city so far. Still avoiding the snow, which is good. But we should definitely be placing a snow dump pretty soon, since we can afford it. Okay, let me just finish my little master planning over here. Ah, speak of the devil. It's snowing. Okay, let's drop that in. Alright, have we destroyed? We have destroyed the power, goodness. Okay. Did not even notice that. Okay. Not detrimental, this is only a little bit of power we're missing out on, and I think the network's actually fine without it, but just to be safe. Hey, alright, look how cool this snow looks. Okay, let's go sneak a peek over here. So the snowplows, they kind of operate the same way that the garbage dump kind of works. So it'll just send vehicles out. They'll eventually get full the same way the garbage trucks do. When they get full, snowplows return to home base. They drop off the snow. Snow kind of melts over time. That kind of keeps this place, you know, slowly emptying. And then Bob's your uncle. And the snowplows, they'll start to make their way out onto the onto the road once the snow starts to accumulate. So just kind of keep an eye on the before and after. So you can see there's no snow accumulating just yet, but we'll put 3 speed on and just kind of watch the roads get a little bit covered. This is cool. Just like in real life, you know, watching it snow. It's actually snowing today. I'm in Canada, so we expect snow in winter. Not a surprise to us. And boy, is it ever snowing today. Well, that's it. Snow's done. Well, I guess it won't bother the roads. Okay, so back to infrastructure planning. And I'm going to drop a police station since we actually have a bit of issues with crime. Oh, yes, we do have lots of issues with crime. I'm going to put that near an intersection. Let's put that over here. I think I'm going to be kind of doubling up on our services just to make them a little bit more efficient in terms of the spread. Okay, so police out and about, that's good. Huge demand right now for essentially everything. Well, not everything, I mean like commercial and residential. Okay, so I'll put commercial like that. And then we'll switch back to residential down here. And we'll kind of not zone right there. We'll leave that a little bit of a gap. And we can probably do another little neighborhood or something over here. Okay, well, why don't we do our next little roundabout just to kind of get this out of the way. Perfect. Again, just want to, you know, tackle traffic a little bit early on. No need to get out of control with that. Okay, I think that's far enough. Yeah, that should line up, yep. Oh, our poor money gone again. Alright, 3 speed it is. We're spending it like it's our job. Alright, okay. Oh, interesting. What is going on here? Did that not line up properly? I don't know what to make of that. Okay, well, we may have to do a little bit of surgery on our roundabouts. I think the issue is we went a little bit too far right there. So we'll try that again. There we go. That solves that problem. And now we should hopefully see some build up of snow on the roads, but before we check that out, let's bring our pipes in. Almost forgot about these poor guys. And water is pretty darn good so far in terms of our available quantity versus how much is being used. Okay, so we can bring that down again. The struggle for money, it's so real right now. I love it. Okay. Making lots though, which is good. Oh, look at that, you can see the road. They're covered in snow now. Are those going the right way? It looks like it. Haha, that's so cool. Alright, where are the snowplows at? Oh, look, there goes one right now. Haha, that's so neat. So they'll just, you know, eventually fill up and then... That's so cool. And then head back to the depot. Perfect. Everything is working as planned. So still a huge demand right now for residential. So let's give the people what they want. And just for the sake of traffic, we're going to be switching over to a larger road over here. It's very tempting to take out that loan, but I think we're going to save that just for like a rainy day type thing. We are making money relatively quickly right now. And it's just a matter of getting more people in here. And then I'm tempted actually to do a little bit of commercial just right here. Alright. There we go. Starting to come together quite nicely. Alright, so let's just make this all residential, since there's like literally a huge demand right now. And we can probably sneak a little side road through here, just to get a little bit more building in. Same with right here, I'm sure we can get one more in as well. And these little center spots, we can always do trees or something over there. Excellent. I'm really liking the way this looks so far. And so this is why I made the little turnaround road here, so you can see these snowplows can make their way over to, you know, these sections. And so hopefully one's on its way to get that little back road right there. That's pretty cool so far. And I think we're okay in terms of money. You know, we got the demands that are moving. Things are definitely in the right direction. Making our little in-town expressway. Pretty darn cool right there as well. Okay, what can we do now? So we can beef up our services. So we do have lots of money coming in, so we can kind of, you know, afford some more stuff. And I'm curious to see how we're doing for power. Wow, already. Oh my goodness. So you know what? It's tempting to buy a power plant before we buy some more services, because we can't really expand right now. And when we drop down as school, that'll cost a little bit more, you know, from our budget. And then it's going to encourage people to move in, but they're not going to be able to because we have no power. So I think we're going to have to get a power plant. And instead of taking a loan, we'll just save up the money, because if we take out a loan, that'll kind of add also to our expenses. And we might as well just keep the ball rolling in terms of money coming in. We have a fairly decent start right now. And just so I don't forget later, I actually want to upgrade this. Just so traffic doesn't get too bad. Okay. Yeah, let's put on 3-speed. Get some more money. Because it's a fine balance too, right? If we wait too long, all these people here complaining about having no power, they're going to move out, and that kind of makes things go backwards. Because then some of the industry won't work, and then they, you know, they don't pay taxes if they're not working, and this and that, right? So we want to make sure the city doesn't, you know, take a turn for the worse here. Okay, so you know what? Just in the effort to save, well, I don't know. I was tempted to do a loan there. Let's see how much it costs at least. Weekly cost $250. You know what? I'd rather keep the $250. We're so close to 19,000 anyway. So I'm going to put down another coal power plant here. And we'll put that one right next to the other one. And then these will eventually be replaced with a cleaner, more efficient power plant. So possibly we can make a little solar field or something. Maybe actually we can get a dam or something set up. But oh, excellent! Oh, great! We just unlocked our heating and that kind of stuff. So policies, we can do extra insulation. No electricity for heat. Oh, okay, cool. So that way we can kind of gear, you know, if you want people to stop using up so much power, we can take that option away from them. And we got some new highways, and we have unlocked the trams. Holy smokes, that is really what I'm excited for. Wow, look at all these new buildings and everything. Oh, a boiler station too. Cool, geothermal. Awesome. Lots and lots and lots of stuff to explore. That's great news. Okay, so before we forget, let's just put the power plant in. Holy smokes, I'm very excited. Okay, fix these little holes really quickly. Excellent. Just drop that down. These poor people just missed them. There we go. Okay. Alright, well guys, before we get a little bit too deep into some of the stuff we just unlocked, I think we're going to end our first part right here. But if you guys like it so far, definitely hit the like button. Feel free to subscribe for some more. And definitely drop me a comment. Let me know what you guys think of the game so far. Okay, well, thanks for sticking with it, guys. I'll see you in the next part. Till then, take care of yourselves.